Simone shot Otis.
Psych!
It's still hashtag who shot Otis, so stay tuned as we break down this week's episode.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
A little bit of cheesy.
Hey.
Snowman.
Right. Hey. That really threw me off. I was not expecting him to have that song in the show.
You know,
I was like, oh, okay. Right. Am I at the club?
Yes. You are the strip club.
Oh, man. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on the Star After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. I am Ivanna Williams, and I'm joined here with my lovely co-host. Oh, first, you can find me on Twitter at Ivanna L. Williams.
And my name is Raquel Harris. You can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV.
What's up, everyone? My name is Sheldon White, and you can find me on all social media at Sheldon White 2.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can follow me at Stiletto Jill, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. My Insta stories are lit.
Oh. Throw that out there.
We all follow each other.
Yeah, on occasion. Check it out, though.
First and foremost, congrats are in order for Star as they just got picked up for season 2.
Gang. Exciting news.
Yeah, it is.
Daniels.
And we were just talking before we started that these past few episodes they've been really touching, and I really love how they've been touching on some really
Controversial.
sensitive topics, especially within the Black community, because I can definitely relate. It's tough.
It feels like the writers are like finding their voice, and it's becoming super specific, and I am enjoying it more and more every week.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So we start off where Star is like sunbathing or something, or she's laying out, by the pool. She's over at Hunter's mansion. And her and Arlene have a conversation. Honestly, I thought it was about to get a lot uglier than it was. I don't know about you.
Arlene's been checked.
Yeah.
Kyle threatened her, so she kind of had to put her dog back into the doghouse.
Yeah.
True.
It brought up a very touching, or not touching, but sensitive topic, because it was like, wow, okay, she's really forgiving him. And I wanted to ask you guys, because I was curious, would you forgive Hunter? Like, if you were in a situation where that was
I was just about to say that, because
Yeah.
Star was like, I'm going to fix him. And I'm like, you don't want that, boo. I promise you
Ask
don't
Chris
want to try
Brown
to
and
do that.
Karrueche.
Whoa.
Well, restraining order.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
But anyway.
Well, that's where that's how it ends up.
situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You begin to perpetuate that. I'm not trying to victim blame at all.
No.
However, but were y'all expecting Star to say something like that? Because I was hoping that she would leave.
I kind of feel like she was going to stay only because, one, we need Hunter, but two, I think that she's been there before in her life, so she probably knows, Hunter, that was a mistake for him, and she knows that he probably means well, and she understands the situation. I had talked about that before, where I was like, Hunter, he doesn't have any right to put his hands on her, period, but at the same time, he's been in a situation where he's dealt with those types of women before, so it's probably just all bottled up inside him, and he released it on her, which is still wrong.
And the PED use.
Right.
Some of that too. You know what I mean?
A lot of things going on, but yeah. So
Sheldon, what were you saying? You were like no as well.
No, I was surprised that she went back so easily. I was hoping that she would hope that he would make the effort back. But once again, it comes down to Star not having anyone on her side and just needing it. I think that's ultimately why she was there. It was ultimately why she's going to.
And she needs a place to stay now too, since
she needs a place to stay.
Yeah.
He gives her money. She is gonna probably.
We saw a lot of people doing things out of necessity between her and Cotton, and
that was
doing what
the
they have
theme
to.
of the episode.
Exactly, necessity for sure. What did you think? Were you expecting her to stay?
As we've just covered, she needs him to a degree, and like you said, it's something that she's familiar with, and I think she also knows that she can hold something against him, because we are in a time where if she reveals that, his career could be over.
Yeah.
So I think she once again feels that she's in control in that situation.
Yeah.
She can manipulate it to her advantage.
And she said that to him too. She was like, "I will end your career." So I was like,
And she would.
Yeah,
She would.
yeah.
I think we all know that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think she's in love with him too.
Do you think she's slipped up and fallen in love?
Yeah, I do.
Because he's sort of been consistent and shown care for her
Yeah.
in ways that she probably hasn't seen before. So I think it wasn't the intent, but
Yeah,
I
same.
definitely can see that.
Yikes.
Were we shocked at Arlene? Didn't Arlene tell him not to put his hands on women? I think she had a bit of a flashback too
Right.
to what happened
Because
with
she
her.
had been through that.
Yeah. Well,
I-
she said that to him.
She said,
Yeah.
"You will not
Yep.
do what your father did to me."
Yeah.
Well, right, and then she
Which
says
was
it
very
says a lot of
insightful.
true.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. And she was like, yeah, and that says a lot about you for staying.
And I think she saw some of herself in Star in that moment because she saw that she's really down for Hunter.
Yeah.
And that she's not just there to take from him.
Right,
So
absolutely.
I think that is an unlikely bond that we just saw forming.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
then we cut to Eva, and she proves to be quite a force. She's singing in English and Spanish, and she's dancing and stripper kicking and stuff. And I was like, oh,
kicking.
God.
I was like, go
man.
ahead, girl. That was the best dancing I've seen.
I told you guys she was
Yeah,
good.
it was.
You did, Sheldon. You did.
Wow.
We're just not on her team.
I was like, Eva is good. She's
I didn't
really
care for the
good.
voice, but when she started dancing with
Yeah.
it too, then I was like, that's
Okay.
it.
She's
That's
got
it.
it.
I still
Eva's
don't
been
like
waiting
her.
for her moment. She knows she's been scheme, plot the whole time. What
Right,
you need
right.
vocals, what you need dance
Absolutely.
moves. I got you.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you need? I'll do it.
Right.
Yeah, do it all. So she definitely brings up the sex appeal up a notch too, and so that's what
Yeah.
I like too.
Her dancing also kind of outshines. I mean, from what we've seen,
It does.
outshines the other girls.
Absolutely.
Too, arguably. Like I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
so.
sure.
Yikes. Simone and Alex show up to Hunters. I didn't know what I was expecting from it, but I wasn't surprised that it ended that way because, Star decided to just stay. So, yeah.
I mean, well, she felt betrayed at this
Yeah.
point. She's sitting there wondering why they didn't take up for her.
Mm-hmm.
Do they want this girl in the group? Are we still dealing with feelings? So, plus, I think she wants to prove her point. She wanted them to see what life is like without her for a second.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very valid.
Yeah. So back at the strip club, we see everyone's favorite Maggie. Yeah,
Maggie is a
Maggie.
character.
She is so weird.
very. Yeah, she's kind of too old to
Maggie's
be in there, you know.
Freak hoe.
Oh my
I
God.
Maggie got a lot. Remember when
You
she licked
wonder.
Hallel in the mouth or something?
Or she wanted
Yeah.
him. Yeah, she wanted him to kiss her and stuff.
Yeah.
She
It's
got
like
a lot of freaky stuff going on.
Because Cotton shows up, because she needs some extra work. She's clearly not back at home anymore with Carlotta, which we don't blame her. And so Maggie says, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do this for you because I'm packed, unless." And then she puts her hand on Cotton's leg, and we know what that means.
We know
You
what
got
that
some
means.
sugar for mama?
Gross. And
that drawn out.
And she was so comfortable doing it, so it made me feel like maybe Cotton has had to do that before for Maggie, like have a little.
I need Maggie to go get
sexual-
tested.
Well,
Because it's a lot. Like that threw everybody off.
Yeah.
Like we were all like, okay,
Yeah.
like this is so weird.
Yuck.
Right.
All right.
Yuck. Right. Okay. Ew.
Also, though, shout out to that actress. Like, she owns that role.
She
of Maggie,
does.
and I
Whoever
buy
she
it.
is,
Like,
yeah, we need to look at
that's
yes,
quite the role to
absolutely.
take on. And
Yeah,
she's,
it is.
I mean,
She owns it.
She's
she
doing
owns
it. She's like,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
got it. Seen.
Yeah, Jahil, as he always does, shows up in the nick of time, though, to help Cotton out. And they roll up at, we know her as Jocelyn's house. What is her name on the show again?
Oh.
stripper from the club.
All
I
right.
don't remember her
There
name.
it is.
Right.
We'll get
Hey,
back to
girl,
that.
I
though.
didn't know.
You
That's
looking so
Jocelyn.
cute with your little baby bump.
Right.
Nobody see. We don't see it, but
Yeah, exactly. I can tell the way that they were like trying to stage everything. They're trying not to show her stomach because she was definitely very pregnant. Because I could see it in her face, so we already knew pregnant face. They had like a little tiff there because Jocelyn's like, I can't believe I'm having this bitch in my house, which I didn't know that they weren't getting along.
You don't remember in the first episode, she was mad, I think in the pilot, when they were in the club and Cotton was trying to distract Halil, and he was sitting in the club with Jocelyn, and she sent her to the dressing room or said
You're
somebody
right.
wanted to
Yeah.
talk to her.
she said
so
somebody
that
was her mom was like in the
that's
hospital.
something. Yeah, that's right.
So that Star could slide in there. So clearly,
Thank
you
you.
know, she felt like she took some money or time.
'Cause she did.
Now I
whatever.
remember.
Yeah.
Now I've been a little confused. The whole time. I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
right.
Who is that? Like,
Right.
What's happening? But
Jocelyn
thank
Hernandez
you. Now I
needed-
got it. I'm caught up.
Yeah, so I remember last week we were discussing on whether or not Derek should take the plea and how that would go for him. He's sitting down talking with Alex, and he says he's not going to take the plea. he's going to take his chance on it. Were y'all expecting that? How did you feel?
Yeah, because I'm just like, oh, Alex, thank you for being that guiding light in his life. Because I was so upset with him when he was like, well, I mean, I might as well. They're telling me that it could be. And I'm like, okay, no, just fight for yourself, please, just a little bit. Or at least, like, if you went back and forth, like, I can understand that. But you just said, no.
And you have a good lawyer now.
Right.
You know, that has some money behind it. So ride that thing out, Derek.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, because what's the worst that could happen?
Well,
I mean, we know.
To life instead
Well,
of
I mean,
5 years.
no, yeah, but I'm saying like you might as well.
worst?
Not the worst. Okay, yes, we know you can be in there for like
25
happen. A
life
lot
versus
could
the
happen.
5. But
I mean,
gets
But
off.
it's admirable. I like it. It's true to who he is, and
Yeah.
I
Right.
appreciate him
Principle.
doing that.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Fighting,
thank you. Come
definitely.
on back.
So while they're out there having this conversation, though, Atlanta's police squad, like 4 and 5 cars deep, they roll up and they come and take Simone.
And I already said I would have took off. Simone, you should have took off. I would have. When I say I would have dipped, I would have dipped out. Like, 'cause I mean,
Gone.
yeah. I understand. Like it. Like you when you broke it down, I was like, I know, but my instincts would have been like,
Gone.
yeah, I got
The police, I'm out.
yeah, as soon as you just, and then like, even like when Star was on the phone with Jahil, like, no, don't, cause he was waiting down the street.
right.
Stay down there.
Roll
don't,
out,
right,
yeah.
time to
Nothing
go.
see here.
Right,
You need to
exactly.
steer clear
Right.
before they got questions for you too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but Cotton and her boo are like really growing on me.
I love them.
So happy for her
Charming
finding
Ellie.
love. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's something that we don't really see often. So I was really proud of her. They had a very open and honest conversation, which I do appreciate. Lee Daniels and the rest of the writers really touching on that. It was very abrupt how he asked. He said, "Do you have HIV?" And she said no. And she's also on PrEP, which is something that people take.
I was glad to see that. I was glad to see them talking about PrEP in a show like this. I feel like we don't see a lot of people talking about PrEP. And it's
No,
been a
not at all.
huge
So-
advancement. And
Yeah.
Why don't we open up the floor to what PrEP is?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, because I'm one of those people who I don't actually know what PrEP is.
So me describing it the best that I can describe it, it's a medicine, it's a pill that you can take every day. And if you take it every day, the chances of you contracting HIV from someone who is HIV positive goes down by like 90-some%. I want to say 98. Don't quote me on that.
It doesn't
stat.
get rid of HIV if you already have it, though.
It
like,
does.
It would
Yeah.
probably
but
helps build up
you-
some antibodies.
Yes, your
antibodies or
immunity.
something.
Right, so you
Okay.
can't contract it from someone even if they are HIV positive.
Yeah.
Or at
Yeah.
least the chances are less.
Yeah.
That's
Do-
awesome.
Do the research though, because it's a really great advancement.
It's a
in-
very
Yeah.
important conversation.
That's
to have.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
very,
Definitely,
very awesome.
Definitely. I had no idea that Cotton was hooking, so to speak, this whole time.
Same.
Your face, you're
Well,
like,
no, because you guys, you're forgetting the early episodes when Star rescued Cotton from the John that was trying to shank her, claiming he didn't know that she was the magical unicorn. And Cotton was like, no, you knew. So, and then,
no, while she had a boyfriend, I thought that she had stopped it when she got the boyfriend. That's what I'm saying.
I wasn't sure about that just because that's how she survives.
yeah.
Right, and she's saving up for the surgery.
operation,
She hasn't
yeah.
had
I
it
really
yet.
thought she had stopped and she was just working in the salon. the
Why?
whole
We don't know
time.
how long she's known him.
Yeah.
They don't live together.
Yeah.
He's not paying bills.
Yeah.
They're
I
just
mean-
in love.
I mean, but I feel like he could have. Well, he's known that she's been hooking, so I guess that's a very valid question to ask. Because I'd have been like, you got anything going on? Because it's
What
not.
does he do for a living? Do we know yet?
I mean,
International
season
man
2.
of mystery.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Season 2, he.
Yeah, we'll get into his story later. I don't feel like he's important. I mean, I don't think he's important enough to get into his story right now. But at the same time, like I do like the conversation because I like the fact that it's very transparent.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people don't have that conversation nowadays, especially young people when they're just like, just doing whatever they want to do and they're not thinking about protecting themselves. So I do respect that conversation being in the show.
Yeah. And Star walks up late, as always, in the game to find out that Simone is gone and that CPS took her. Seems like nobody really wanted to break the news to her at all.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't know, that was just really tough.
Yeah, it was a heartfelt moment.
It was. And the authorities told Simone that the police figured out Otis's murder. I was not expecting her to confess.
And I remember, Sheldon, you had brought that up too, because you was like, why would you say that? But I think she's just so tired. I mean, I, again, would have not said that I did it, but at the same time, I think she's just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take credit for this, because in the end, I really wanted to anyway. So
it just shocked me still, though. It still shocked me because I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in her situation. I don't know what it's like to be her. But I would think I would keep my mouth shut. And I was surprised she even opened up to this person at all who's not really done good for her.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe she was angry.
True.
It was, just sort of maybe not right in herself, because Simone has been through a lot of things. She hasn't been diagnosed, but she might have some, mental issues,
PTSD.
understandably, that
definitely.
she's working through. So that moment might have just been about how she felt. I do not understand why she confessed to it. Maybe, as we find out later, she really was confused about what happened that night. But
that part.
Yeah, and then she told that she took Carlotta's gun and shot him, and then she also revealed that she had been raped multiple times. That wasn't the only foster father.
And I just don't understand. Like, we hear about these cases so many times, and it's like no one is investigating the foster care system at all. It's just like you come and you make sure that on the outside, everything is okay with the child, but you don't even ask them questions about what's going on, or you don't, try to inquire a little bit more. It's just like, oh, well, I mean, they're good. They're in a home. And that bugs me. Like, and that's why I said, Simone, you should have took off.
I know social workers stop by and they try to analyze the situation, but I do wonder, what questions are they asking, and what do they sweep under the rug?
It's probably also hard, because what child in this situation is going to be honest to this random person showing up that they don't know, and they don't trust that person either necessarily. So
and to the point of what Simone said, when Juanita, her social worker, said that, why didn't you come to me? It's not the first time. It's not the only place. It's like they come, they take her, and they take her to someplace else where she's raped again. So sometimes it might be a situation of lesser of two evils, the one that you can manipulate the best.
Yeah.
Or
valid.
Just how much she can handle. Yeah, definitely.
It's very sad.
And shank. Kill him.
Yeah, well, then we get there. Still at the station, that's when the social worker, she, leaves, and then Simone is like daydreaming. We can hear her talking to herself and just, she's analyzing, trying to figure things out in her head. She's kind of having this battle. And then she has this dream sequence. I've noticed every time there's some tough situation, they break it up with like a dream sequence or something. And it's like a dance breakdown and stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? Just play it through.
A Chicago moment. Shout out to you, Latifah. Didn't you get an Academy Award nomination?
Yeah. I was like, this is really familiar to Queen Latifah.
Right. It literally took me back. I was like, okay. Yeah. Right. And she always the mom. And even in Chicago, she was the mom too. So I'm like, okay, you out here.
And Jill, I have to ask, how did you feel about Star's lace front?
We're going to go with a negative on that one.
Oh.
Not really feeling it. Now, Cotton's lace fronts are always laid.
They're perfect.
So I need them to refer whoever is taking care of hers or wherever they're getting them from to some of the other cast members at times.
I'm weak.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Lace front? What? Tell me what this is.
Wig.
Explain me. The wig? Is that
We are writing it down. We are writing it down for Sheldon.
This should
This
make
is the
me
third thing. We are writing everything.
not know today?
I don't know.
It's okay.
It's a funny movie.
I've never worn a lace. I mean,
It's adorable.
I mean, I've never worn a lace front, but I do know what they are. But it's just like a little. It's like
I've
a
never
wig.
worn either. It's a wig, but
Me
it's
either. I'm
supposed to have
scared
a
to
more
put one on.
natural hairline, and you tweeze it and
I've seen that lace
glue,
front.
and
Gotcha.
as this show has shown us. So I think that's on purpose, though, to maybe show the underside of Atlanta and the hair scene. I don't know.
Or, I mean, honestly, yeah, that could be very true because that's the reality of it. Like, everybody's just not laid. Like, I mean, but then again, Atlanta has some of the best weave companies.
There's no excuse.
But it could be a financial situation because in order to have top-notch hair, that's expensive, and there are other priorities that we've seen float around. I don't know.
But y'all work in a hair salon.
Right, yeah.
So
but
no excuses.
They might like fire train red and visible, invisible parts and what have you. I don't know. We'll just move along from
Right.
there.
How did you feel about the dance sequence, Sheldon? Did you like the dancing?
Yeah, I was down. I was like, okay. You guys all got it. It was good.
Good. Right,
It was
right.
good. It was good.
It was
okay.
fine. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So back at the house.
Sensational.
Yeah. It's like nighttime, and apparently the cops haven't left. They're checking out the whole area, and then Carlotta ends up getting arrested.
because they found a gun. Did you see anybody pull out a warrant though?
No.
I was wondering when someone's going to
I was thinking the same thing.
But I think, well, because that dude flashed his badge, and then that's when everybody was like, well, they're probably, I mean,
But you need the paper.
I'm
the
sorry,
warrant.
in the hood, they know the rules of
That's
the law
number one.
better sometimes.
Yeah,
than somebody.
exactly.
true.
I just thought it was interesting. I'm like, because they don't have probable cause yet, unless it's technically
Right.
a crime that Simone was there to begin with because she was a runaway. But I don't know.
And
But
there
then they
were
have
so
videotapes.
many of them there.
Yeah.
I thought one of them would have been like, where's your warrant?
So many people there.
Yeah, so
right.
many adults.
Yeah. I know. That-
everybody was probably just shocked. Like, we just got Derek out of jail.
You know, we
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
I know Carlotta is so stressed. Like, she just,
gotta be.
she has to be.
How
I'm
has she
like,
not had a heart attack yet?
no, literally, I told him she will, and right with Cotton, I'm sure. I think she did have a heart attack with that one because she tapped back into I don't know where into that musical number. I feel so bad for Carlotta because she is saving a lot of people, and that's what I was gonna say too about Cotton and her situation. I agree that Cotton still should be upset, but at the same time, I feel like she's dealing with so much all at once, and everybody has a reason to be upset with Carlotta, and I feel so bad for her because she really is trying her best. But you know,
But I think that's Cotton's thing. I feel like she sees her going hard in the paint for Simone and
Right.
Star, and she's probably like, I've been right here for however long, we aren't really sure yet.
Right.
And you know, treat me shamefully or as an outcast. So
She's been put on the
Absolutely.
back burner, it seems.
yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
like you're
Absolutely.
going hard for them, and these aren't even your kids.
Right.
And if the timelines are adding up, they came after. But we can talk about maybe why she felt indebted
Yeah,
to
that's
them.
what I was thinking too. And so at the police station, whenever she's talking with Detective Batista, right?
Yes.
Batista, we found out that she wrote letters to social services to get the girls back, Star and Simone.
We knew that though.
Maybe I must have skipped that because I
forgot.
was like,
She said
I-
early in the episode
Yeah.
because that's how Star even found out who Carlotta was. Miss Juanita told her that in your file, Star was like, is there anybody
Yeah.
that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Star, Miss Juanita said this person has been writing her, and Star went and did her internet investigations or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah. And then the detective, he did a whole lot of digging all the way back into her past,
Yes.
and he presented this old mugshot of her from like, I don't know.
Like 16.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
we're like, because I think we keep asking every episode, what was Carlotta's past like? What did she do? What did she get into? Did she go to jail and get arrested? Like, how did she change her
How did
life
the
around and
group
get to
break?
this point?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so we finally get to that later on in the episode. But then Star arrives late again, and she goes off on Juanita, the social worker. And then she finds out that Simone had confessed, and she's just trying to have it back and forth, like, no, it's that's not it. And that the confession had been turned over to the detective Batista. I mean, Sheldon, I remember you were like, oh
I was like,
my
no,
God.
it's over. What are they
Yeah.
gonna do now?
I know.
It's interesting too, though, how Star is like, actually, I did it. Like,
Right, yeah.
I was like, is everyone gonna start saying they did it, and then no one's
Yeah.
gonna know what happened?
Yeah,
Too many
I mean,
confessions.
to confuse
I mean,
it. Girl.
You know.
Yeah.
I like how they're all so down for each other though.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a
Yeah.
squad like that in
And-
real life.
And Alex was there the whole time.
Yeah.
She
She
didn't
didn't say I've done something.
That's
She's like,
fair.
I'm not saying that.
But
I think
she
you
was
picked
like,
up, you picked up on her
Shoot,
face, her facial expressions
Yeah,
too. And I
because
was
she,
writing.
she looked a little paranoid.
Yeah.
She did it. I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all.
She did look a little bit paranoid, but I thought it's just because she's been sheltered and she's never been through that her whole life. That's the way it registered to me.
Well, she's
But-
been through a lot
yeah.
of jail situations in the
Yeah.
last couple of weeks, so she should not have been nervous. She's been to jail.
It should be the
herself.
norm now.
She's
Right,
so
right.
Not like that, but just
She's riding, and on top of that, I mean, like she had talked about with her mom, like I've seen you drunk. Like she's had her taste of hardcore life.
Yeah,
and
just
so
in a
she's
different way.
Right, absolutely.
She
And
didn't have to worry about finances, but there were emotional things that she was not
absolutely,
seeing or she might have went
absolutely.
through.
And she's probably like, look, I've been hanging out with Star and all them for so long. I mean, something has to rub off. And I feel like I feel like she, with that money that she has, she's probably like, I could hire somebody to do this.
Yeah.
So,
Well, she did.
right. Okay. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
Think I'm crazy.
So as we move on further in the episode, the detective reveals that the bullets from the gun that was found at Carlotta's house did not match the bullets found in Otis's body. That was a huge relief for me.
Yeah.
And that they knew this whole time that Simone was lying. And to me, I was like, well, then why are y'all going so hard on her if you knew she was lying the whole time?
Maybe
Because-
she'll give out more information.
Well, I think the reason why, and he mentioned, Detective Batista mentioned it, he said that Otis was stabbed in a short time after. Remember, we talked about this earlier. I was like, why are there no police looking for Simone when Otis got stabbed?
Yeah,
and
we
she
said it all the
disappears
time.
So that was his connection point, that something is amiss. And because Otis came to Atlanta looking for Simone, he's connecting the dots. He knows that something probably was not right with the foster child and the foster dad, but you know, he probably thought he could punk her out of the bed.
Right, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, technically he did. It just turned out to be false.
Right.
Which was crazy.
So false.
She was like, I thought I did it.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm so
Like,
confused.
you know
I'm
whether
telling
you
you.
do that or not.
You know if you shot a gun.
But-
There's not that much weed in the world that you're confused if you put a bullet through someone's chest.
But I think too, a lot of PTSD is tapping into a lot of people in here. Like, and they're doing it seamlessly to where it looks like, oh, they're going into a musical number. Oh, they're just talking to themselves. Oh, they're, just doing that. And I think it's a very silent way of them having a mental breakdown. And I don't, because
That's a great point.
because I just feel like this is a lot going on. If any of us were one of them, I would have probably pulled up a joint, rolled a joint, or had a mental breakdown or something
I
like
would
that.
have checked
Legal
out.
in California.
Yeah.
You're good here.
Hey,
You're good.
2018 recreational. But yeah, seriously though, I just feel like I feel for them, and I do think that these are moments of insanity that they're going through.
I can
Yeah.
agree with that.
Definitely. And Carlotta is also granted temporary guardianship, which
Yeah.
Thank you.
right.
Can we talk about how big of a swing that is? 1 minute you're in a interrogation
emotions,
room,
you know?
being arrested and questioned about a murder. The next
Right.
minute you're like, yeah, legally she can go home with you. Y'all good?
I was
Right,
like,
right.
what?
All right, we out.
Yeah.
So I
fast.
I didn't
they
realize
wrap stuff up fast.
I didn't realize that she needed to report her as a missing child.
She's a minor.
about
She's
that.
15. You know, I did because she's
Yeah.
a minor,
I wouldn't know.
and she's a ward of the system.
Right.
So you can't just
Illegally keep her.
yeah.
Yeah. Because she technically doesn't belong.
Because I was thinking that too. I was like, is Carlotta gonna say this at any point? Is she gonna reach out to the local police and say anything? But no, she just
But
kept it under wraps.
What was good was that Carlotta claimed not to know. She knew that she had been in a, alluded to that she had been in foster care, but she didn't know what happened. She showed up here. I've been trying to get them. I'm just trying to take care of her.
Yeah.
So it's like plausible deniability, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Smart.
She
Yeah.
played that very well.
Smart.
Because she knows.
Because she
right?
been there, right?
Yeah.
She been there, done that.
No.
She
Right.
like,
Tell her
she
what she
like,
picked up in the
look,
beginning.
they have an entire book
She
upstairs.
knows. She knows.
Right.
So Cotton does one last trick, and she is dropped off by some random John, and I think one of you were like, yo, I bet the boyfriend is right there on the steps, and he was there as soon as she got out the car.
With roses.
And with flowers.
I was like, damn it,
No.
Fred. I was so mad. You guys.
Oh, guys.
Have any of you ever like pulled up and your boo is waiting there with like gifts or flowers and you're coming out from like, a night out or whatever? Does that happen?
Oh, a night out? Like,
Just
I was like,
whatever.
oh my God. I was like,
a
no.
long night of cheating?
Or possibly, or just,
Just a
I'm
late
staying
night.
home tonight, baby, and you were really at the club. Any of those type of things?
Oh, no. I thought you were saying,
Do
like,
you have a story, Jill?
No, I don't. I just decided to ask the panel because I don't know what that's like. I've never grown up, and I'm not at all busted.
I mean, we've all, I think everybody's gotten busted in a lie before, not necessarily
funny.
with, a love, but, for instance, if you screenshot something and then you send it to the wrong, or you send it to that person.
Yeah, that happened to me recently.
Did it really?
no.
I was being shady about something.
Oh.
Send it to the person I
Oh,
was
you
being shady
You
about.
never write
I've been
it
on the
down.
receiving end of that.
No. Players mess up. Things happen.
Hey,
That's
right.
Never put that
Keep it
anywhere.
You got this brush, you just move on.
You just do. You gotta take it like a G.
Right.
Is that for me? No.
Right.
You can't lie. Don't lie.
Right.
Man,
Hope
it's-
they don't want.
Right. I was about to say, oh, well.
Yeah.
You do.
Right.
Yeah. One thing that was annoying to me is that he wanted her to quit, but she has to do this to make ends meet. And I understood that perspective. Do you all agree, or how do you feel about it?
I agree with my bigger issue was that Cotton lied.
Yes.
Cotton said, "Do you want me to stop this for you?" He said, "Yes." She said, "Okay." That's where the big issue came for
Definitely.
me. I
Right.
understand why she's getting the money.
Right.
Yes.
I wish she had other ways to get it.
Yes. And I feel like you're jeopardizing someone else's health, and that's not cool.
Definitely.
I don't like that period.
They just had the health conversation.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and that's fine, prep and all that good stuff. That's fine, but it's not fair when you're lying about what you're doing sexually with another person, especially multiple
Exactly.
people. Period, and it's just not cool. So immediately I was like, well, Cotton, see ya, bye, Elliot.
I feel the same way. It's just, it would have been different if she told him, listen, I don't have any other way to make ends meet.
Absolutely.
Et cetera, et cetera. Then, that conversation could have gone someplace else. But she alluded to the fact that she was going to give that up for him.
Yep.
And
And you lied.
when
That's
you
the
show
only
up
thing.
there
Yeah.
and you haven't given it up for him and you haven't expressed, hey, I can't survive any other way.
Yeah, and he's appreciated.
Yeah,
Be
she
an
should have been upfront
afterthought.
about that.
It
If she
can't
still
be
has
an
to continue, she needs to be
Right,
upfront.
right.
I don't have no more money.
Especially after
But-
everything that he's done, like he's and regardless, I'm not applauding him for being a decent human being. He should appreciate and love who she is as she is. But at the
Still,
same
it's a
time,
difficult situation
Right.
that some men would not step up and still be okay.
Yeah.
Given everything, just her situation in totality, the fact that
Right.
she is escorting, the fact that
Yes.
she is
true, all of her
still,
baggage.
transitioning. So that's a lot of things for him to take on, and he's been willing to and truthful about it, and still saying, "I want to treat you how you deserve to be treated." He was owed the truth. In that
Yeah,
situation.
and he's like,
Absolutely.
I want you to myself. You're beautiful. I've given you what you want, and that's still.
And then he got kind of mean, but he was hurt.
Did he get mean?
A little bit.
I don't blame him for. I mean,
What
it
did
was what did he say?
He I mean.
he
about that
said,
she
"I
wasn't
think you
telling-
enjoy what you do."
Yeah, because he had
Well-
already said that he felt like
She don't
she
enjoy
treated him
it.
as
I
a
know.
John.
He was trying to hurt her back. I mean, that
Yeah.
was just an act of
Because for him,
hurting
he's
her.
like, "I love you. You have me. Why are you still doing this?"
Well, it's in the sense of like you must like doing it because you obviously don't like this better. You have a better option, and you never know. He could have ended up like contributing to it or helping in some type of way, but you didn't even give it that type of time.
Yeah.
You just said, "Well, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do." Like, of course, you can be in control of yourself and do whatever you want to do, but at least take another person out. Don't include them in your mess. Just leave it alone. Like, just be honest. I know that's hard, but.
So back at the temporary place that Cotton has been staying, Carlotta shows up and she wants to talk to Cotton. Okay, she wants to talk to Cotton about just, I don't know, whatever. And she reveals to her that she's not embarrassed of Cotton. And that was really tough for me because she just said, Carlotta was like, well, it really hurts me whenever I have to think about what is it you do. And Cotton's like, how do you think I feel when I'm doing it? And then she says, I've been having to do this since I was 12. That really tugged at my heartstrings.
I was like, that's crazy.
12.
And
So-
that just, of course, which brings about more questions because we eventually see that Cotton was born in jail. I'm sorry, I'm not skipping ahead a little, but that Carlotta got him back when he was about 2 or 3. So something happened again at 12 that caused her to lose contact with him, and it's very heart-wrenching, to think about a parent going through that with their child selling their body to live.
Yeah.
And then also the mixed emotions that are going through, because I'm sure Carlotta knows there have been moments where she was ashamed of Cotton.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
dealing with that guilt, but now she wants to be supportive of her child, and
Yeah.
Cotton has really hurt.
Yeah, and I wonder if Cotton knows that she wanted the abortion. Like that. I hope that never comes out for
And
Cotton.
well, this is my other question I'm gonna have. Is Hael Cotton's dad? Because
We've been talking about the past few episodes. Yeah, in the
because
beginning.
remember,
Yeah.
Carlotta and Hael were messing around first at that time when they were in
And
the
then he
group.
became interested in Mary.
Right. So I just, maybe that's why she wanted to get an abortion, because he was trying to push up on Mary. There's still that kind of gray area.
I kind of think that Carlotta was prostituting too. I personally thought so.
Really?
Because I mean,
so.
because that baby did not look like Hael, but I mean, at the same time, who knows? But I don't know. I guess I just felt like maybe that was what was happening, because that is a weird space. I don't know how he came about, but
Yeah.
I'm
I
early,
don't know
but I think that that's what it's going to turn out. I
Yeah.
think that Cotton is going to be Hael's child.
Yikes.
What I wonder
It's a
about
chocolate baby.
Cotton and Carlotta is I wonder if they will be able to recover. Because what's so hard for me to watch these scenes is Carlotta, I think she's having moments that she's changing and she's trying. Like, I can tell that she, I mean, after this awful thing, really wants to try.
Yeah.
And Cotton, I know, wants to be close to Carlotta too, but there's just so much damage there.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they're going to, or what would get them to.
They need help with a third party, a therapist.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
the only way.
Well, they
go to
tried
some
that.
therapy.
You
An
don't need a
actual
third party.
licensed therapist, not.
I think that they will work
Harris.
their way back together, but it's definitely going to take some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a very huge traumatic situation
It
to happen.
is.
But I mean, I do, like, I agree with you, Sheldon. She's trying her best. Like, I mean, I know it's tough, but I feel like also, too, maybe when things simmer down with the girls, then that'll probably help. But that also sucks because it shouldn't have to be that way. You should be
Right.
giving your attention to your kid regardless, no matter what. But-
And yeah, not excusing anything she's done. But
yeah.
Yeah, back at Carlotta's though, we found out that Alex wrote a song for them to perform for the Atlanta Next Fest.
She be writing her butt off. man.
Right? Alex Penn is always nice every
She is the
week.
backbone of that group.
She
for
really
really
real.
is.
She's, yeah.
She
Yeah.
puts in work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we see a little moment of Simone singing and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And we have the flashback of Carlotta and she robbed a store, armed robbery. So we find out that's where the mugshot was from. That was that was really tough. And she did that to make ends meet. And she needed the money when she spoke to Mary while in jail. She needed the money for an abortion. Of course, she didn't get the abortion. She had to have Cotton in jail. She didn't even get to hold
Him.
her child.
And I didn't like how
Hold Cotton as a
smug they
baby.
looked. Like
That
the
was
doctors,
annoying.
It was annoying. I was like,
Yeah.
so you're not
So-
gonna let the mom hold just for 2 seconds.
Not
You're
at
just
all.
you and literally looked at her like you're trash.
Yeah.
Giving it, and I'm like, wow. And it's not like you knew about the abortion that she, or maybe I don't know if they did or did not, that she was
know.
trying to abort him. But I'm just like, come on now.
But
Like,
really,
they're-
Sorry,
really quickly, we need to wrap up. So I want to take it into predictions so we can try and move forward. So hopefully we can play the predictions and then we can just say what we all are looking forward to. Yeah, and we get out of your space.
Sorry, y'all.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Run over a little bit.
We'll be
okay,
back
Sheldon,
next
go
week.
ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think Simone's foster mom is going to contact Simone
Okay.
in the next episode. I think she's going to make her way back. I think that's going to happen. And I also think because I think that the whole Star Eva thing at the end, where he picks Star, I think that storyline is not over, and I think that Eva is going to claw her way back in.
So
Jill?
I think Eva's going to be a problem, as she always has, because she knows that
Is.
Hale buried the body and she was looking for stardom. I also think that we're going to find out, like I said, that Hale is Cotton's daddy. And yeah, that's it. Those
Okay.
are my predictions.
I retweet everything Jill said, and I also do think I think Eva is going to be. Literally everything that you said, I was like, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. But yeah, and I don't think that Jahil is the baby daddy, but
Yeah.
hey, who knows?
I don't think so either. At the end, I know, Star was trying to do, when we didn't get to it, but she fought Eva a little bit, and she
roughed
made
her up.
a
She
choose
snatched
between
her. She
which
grabbed
one of
her.
us. Jahil chose Star, but honestly, I think they'd be great as four. I still think that they would need Eva to kind of turn that up a notch. Unfortunately,
They don't trust her.
I think Elliot's coming back.
Eva's definitely going to be an issue because now she's going to be spiteful. So we'll see how it goes. Yikes. So that is it for episode 9. Thank you all so much for joining us for the Star After Show. Again, I'm Ivanna Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Ivanna L. Williams.
And my name is Raquel Harris. You can find me on all social media at Raquel Harris TV. And Big Little Lies is on Sunday. Please watch. I am one of the co-hosts, so please watch me.
Woo woo. My name is Sheldon White. You can find me on all social media at Sheldon White 2.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. Make sure you watch Raquel on Big Little, what is it?
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Nicole
Big
Kidman,
Little
there
Lies.
it is.
Sunday.
Yes.
Spoon,
Thank
yeah.
you all so much for joining.
Hey.
Bye. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Because that would be so sad.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.